Hello, guys, and welcome to day 5 of our intensive data science, machine learning, and AI training with Python. So, today we're going to be looking at loops in Python. So, what are loops, right? So, in this video, you're going to learn how to use loops to manipulate, to iterate through sequences, to iterate through your data sets given some certain conditions are valid. Now, loops are just fundamental programs that for programming construct. These allow us to execute a block of code repeatedly, right? So it helps us to automate tasks. Guys, that is the word I was using. I was looking for. It helps us to automate tasks that are repeatedly done. We can just automate them using loops. Now, in Python, there are two types of loops which we're going to see. We're going to look at the for loop and the while loop. Now, for the for loop, we can use the for loop when we have finite set of data, and we can use it also. Yes, for example, if we have a range, right? Well, we have a string, we have a data set, we can use that. Now, loops are very important in Python because it helps us to iterate through data sets, right? Through our data structures like our lists, our dictionary set, and tuples. We can use lists to iterate through. We can use lists to automate tasks. We can use lists in searching algorithms and sorting algorithms. We can use lists in data processing. So now let's just dive directly into the syntax for the for loop. Now, the for loop syntax is very simple. So we're just going to do for, like you have a variable in your iterable, right? Then you print the variable, right? Or you quote here. Let me just put print the variable, right? So you write your quotes here, right? So this is the syntax, right, of the for loop, right? You can write your quotes here. So I think let me just take off this range down there. So let me change that to a markdown file. Let me change this to a markdown file. Right. So yep. Okay, so it's not really the best, but fine. Okay, so that means that if we follow this same stuff, I don't know why it's showing like that. So let me just allow it like that. So if I have like my list of numbers, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So I can do for I in list, right? Print I. So it's just going to print me all of the values of I like that. So I can do for, okay, I can do names, right? So names is, okay, now let me use a tuple and put Constantine. I do Max, I do Jane, I do Juice, and so I can do for n in names, print n. So it prints me out all the names, right, like that. So now I can do that over a range, right? So I can do that over a range also. So I can do for I in range. So range is over a range of values, right? Let's say 10, right? So this will just print me numbers from 0 to 9, right? So this is it. Now I can also do, now remember that the syntax for range is, let me just put it there. The syntax for the range is you have range, then you have the start, the stop, and the step. So I can still do, let's just try to do an example of that. For I in range, start at 2, end at 50, and then do me a step of 3. Right. Do a step of 5, yes. So print I. So let me, yes, good. right? So 2, 7, 12, right, up to 50, right? So that is it. So we can have range like that. So we can also do the while loop, right? So let's look an example of the while loop now. So the while loop is going to continue to execute a block of code so long as a given condition remains valid. So the syntax for the while loop will be like this. So you have while there is a certain condition and the condition is valid, right? So you just code here. All right, that is it. So it's a markdown file, so I just put that. So I'm going to just do example. Let's say count is 0 while count remain less than 5. What do we want to do? We want to print out count, right? And then also note that we have to be adding, we can do I plus plus, right? Or we do count plus equals to 1, right? So that we do the assignment operator that we talked about. So it just loop me through from that. Remember that this will always be, I explained that in one of the videos that we're looking at operators. So if you've not watched the video on operator, you can go back to watch this video on operator. So if you're first time joining our videos, right, so you can click on the subscribe button so that you receive notification each time that we make a new post. So this will be count is equals to the old value of count plus 1 each time. So count was 0 and then it goes to 1, it goes to 2, it goes to 3, and it goes to 4. So when it's 4 it's less than this, so it breaks out of that condition. Now the next thing that we're going to look at is how to control let me do control, how to use control statements in loops, right? So particularly I'm talking about the break. We have break, we have continue, and we have else, right? So we're going to look at how to use this. This will prematurely terminate your program, and then this will continue even after a certain condition is met. So you continue, you go to the next. Let me just put here, go to next, go to next, and this will loop when this will print when loop finish, or yeah, finish and executing. So like that, I change it to a markdown, right? So let me just add more. So now I can do that for I in range 5, print I, or before we print I can do if I is equals to 3. Yes, good. Then print I. So what happened is that let me put the break here, sorry. So when I goes to 3, it's going to stop, right? Oh, what happened? Okay, I think I have to do it like this. Yeah, good. All right, fine. So when it gets to 3, it stopped. But now let's take the same code. Let's take the same code and I run it, but instead of using break, let me use here continue. Right, so when it gets to 3, it's not going to stop prematurely like this. It's going to continue to the next. Right, so it prints 4. So if I increase my range here to 10, right, so that we just see more values that are printed. Right, so it prints, it skips only 3. Right, it skips only 3, but it prints the rest. Now I can do with the other case where we talk of I in range 5. Then I want to be able to print I, else I want to print loop finish. Right, so blah, at the end it prints me that the loop is finished. So now let's look at some kind of examples that we can do. So now I'm going to write a program, right, to sum numbers, right? So I'm going to just do a list of numbers, right? Let's just assume that I have a list of numbers 1, 3, 5, and so. Then I can declare sum to be 0. Then I can do for I in the list, right? So sum plus equals to num, right? Then I just do print the sum is, then sum. Okay, voila. Whoa. Oh, I sorry. So the sum is 19. Where did I get num from? Okay, so this is a typical example that we can do with sum. We can also use loops to find prime numbers from a certain range, right? I can say, okay, find me the prime numbers from 0 to 15, right? So it's going to print me all the prime numbers from 0 to 15. Now let's just also take another example. So I want to print out even numbers from 0 to 100. All right, so I can do for let's say for I in range, yeah, pam, 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 pam. Right, if I modulus division by 2, I modulus division by 2 is double equals to 0, then print I. That is it. Or like this is okay. Now let's try something, right? Let's let me make an empty list, and then we, okay, no, that would be like I wanted to append it into a list, but we have not done list operation, so let me not complicate it for you, right? So as simple as that is okay, right? So this is how we use loops in Python, right? So as simple as that, you can use it to basically do any kind of thing that you want to do. Okay, see you in the next video. In the next video we'll be looking at functions. All right, we'll be looking at functions. So if you look carefully as we move forward, we are combining things. This is conditional statements, right? These are the if statement, and now we're joining it with the for loop, and then we're also doing as operators here, right? So basically as we go forward, right, we're going to just be mixing every concept, and you're going to see how everything just unfold.